Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Dorado Show. We hope you all been enjoying the previous episodes, and if you like it, please tell someone. You can catch us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. So with that said, this was just another continuation from the previous show. We'll be getting into a little bit of B.B. King and closing out some Vegas. So anyway, let's start the show. All right, Dad. Very good. Yeah, and last week we were actually out at the homeland, the motherland, Beatty, Nevada. I had a little chance to jam with my dad and also one of the locals out there, Bob. Shout out to Bob. He had an awesome man cave we were all jamming out in. So we'll post a couple clips up there on YouTube and check it out. Some good little fun.
Yeah,
right?
A lot of fun. That wasn't just a little fun.
All right.
Yeah, we were having a good time out in Beatty, Nevada.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you've never been heard of Beatty, it's about maybe 20 miles out of Death Valley, and it's about 3,300 feet above Death Valley. Mm-hmm. So the weather was real nice weather, and usually they have a thing called Beatty Days.
That's right.
And the event was canceled because of our current situation, COVID. Mm-hmm. And we decided, we always make plans to go out there, and we wanted to go check in on our aunt. Our aunt is like 99. She's our she's our elder,
right?
And so it's good to go ahead and check on her and still feel her spirit while she's still with us. And made me cry. I think. Oh no. Anyways, yeah, it's a bit emotional thinking about the elders as they pass on. And we know she doesn't have that much time here, so we want to enjoy as much as time that we have with her. Yeah. And so we made our annual trip down over there to go say hi and had a good time. Wore a mask, sort of.
Right.
Out there in Beatty, Nevada. Yeah, they had one COVID, and the person was from California. Mm-hmm. And that's what's sort of strange about this COVID thing. Population about 1,000 people. They had one case,
right,
and the whole town had to shut down. Now, can you imagine the financial devastation that occurred in that particular blanket politics, I guess I might call it? Right. Instead of individually checking to see what towns are prone to go ahead and have something like COVID. It's just instead they just shut the whole enchilada down. I just can't understand the philosophy behind the thinking of this kind of dilemma. It's too bad we didn't have anything in place, but
right. Yep.
Anyways,
doesn't work everywhere.
That's right.
Doesn't work.
Yeah.
Even now in the cities.
So anyways, over there they didn't have the usual festivities. I think they're supposed to have yesterday. I think it was the witch walk. Everybody goes bar to bar. You jump over there on a trailer, and then it totes you around to different places, and every person that participates there has to have a drink from the witch's brew, I guess.
That's funny.
A lot of fun for the locals, right. And keeps the spirits up. And a lot of our veterans are living inside that kind of area, and it's just really it's ideal for people to go ahead and spend their last times a retirement place. Mm-hmm. But it's a lot of fun in Beatty, and then. A lot of good things, too. Once you get yourself a Jeep, then you can go ride around to all these different trails and see the beauty of our real country, inside the places that hadn't been developed, and see the wild donkeys. People that say hello to you when you first show up in Beatty are the wild burros.
That's
the burros come out of nowhere, and then all of a sudden here they are.
Heard of them. Yeah.
Next thing you know, they're gone.
Right.
And later on at night, you hear them enjoying themselves.
Yeah, too funny.
But anyways, that's where we were at, and we were fortunate enough to go ahead and run into Bob, a drummer. He played in 2 or 3 different bands, and he did different styles of music. His was more Elvis Presley was one of his guys, I think, and then the other, Elvis show that he did, and then took it on tour, and then he did top 40s kind of thing. So he was more like in the 70s, 80s kind of person.
Right.
And then Hispanic guy or Mexican guy, and so he did a lot of rancheras and things like that, banda, etc. So he played the northern style of that kind of music, and so he was well-rounded. Mm-hmm. So for me and Johnny, we came in there with a little mixture of our own styles of music to go ahead and give him a sample to see how he'd fit, and actually...
They're really good.
Yeah, Johnny and him just communicated like dead on, like they've been practicing for months. And over here, I had to sharpen up my tools here and remember what I was doing. Uh-huh. So it was sort of a challenge for me to get back inside that environment there and, sharpen up on my own lessons here I take from Tommy the Hawk. Mm-hmm. And, it was a lot of fun. I mean, a lot of fun. And he had this beautiful man cave. You've never seen anything like it before.
Right. Yep.
It was just unreal. It had all the goodies there. I hate to say it, but anyways, he was a Denver Bronco guy. So he had all this Bronco stuff all around,
Yeah.
And then I'm from this area over here, so you either got to be a Ram or a Raider or, right. Whatever. So we don't like those Bronco guys. But, in this case, I had to go ahead and change my thinking on that one. Go, go Bronx, But anyways, he had the pool tables set up. And then much to my surprise, we go inside the other part of his man cave. And what I run into? Mm-hmm. I run into a beautiful Indian motorcycle,
right.
Fully dressed. And I'm going, oh my God, let me touch the sand and the saddlebags made out of this beautiful leather. It's just
right.
like with a little beacon of an Indian head on there.
Yeah.
Just, but anyways, it was a really, really nice adventure. And it felt peaceful to be back out in that area. So last week, that's where we were.
Yep, a little getaway.
A little getaway, and then we didn't have Diana's sister Mary. Yeah, her Jeep wasn't fair enough to go take us way off on the off-road adventure. Mm-hmm. But I think some of the kids made it, in different parts. I think what I have to do is break down and just rent one, because I really don't have enough money to buy a Jeep and go use it for recreation like that.
That's right.
So I think I'll just go rent one. I'll run up to Diana's grandfather's ranch up in the 25, 30 miles out of Beatty, up about 6,300 feet. Now I'm going to have to wait for the springtime for that now, because up there it's a different ball game, Nice weather down below, not too bad. You go up there in that mountain and you just don't know what's going to go on.
All right. Yeah.
Back in the days, he lived out. Well, he was born out in the Swiss Alps, so they're used to that kind of stuff.
Right. Yep. Farmer.
I'm from Santa Monica. No, I was born in Santa Monica, but you know what I mean. There's such a contrast.
I know. Yeah.
And on the way home, how'd you like those winds, huh?
It's fun.
Yeah, 5 or 6 semis blown over on the way home, and and then the road was a real tough ride. Yeah, so. Yeah. But all in all, we all made it back safe, and here we are again. So
that's right.
All right, cheers, we made it.
That's right. Yes, we
made it back to work and did everybody's duty, and now here we are back again. It's awesome. Right. Yeah. But anyways,
all right.
Yeah, I think where I left off last week, I was there talking about B.B. King in Vegas.
Right. Yep.
And actually, I'm going to have to go ahead and see what I have down here for my notes here. Yeah, I'll go back and forth probably into Vegas, but for right now, I'm going to have to start with a farewell to Las Vegas. I did get out of the Air Force. Mm-hmm. It served me well. I had a lovely wife and a brand new baby, so I had honorable discharge. I almost got put out to the Nellis bomb range. Now over there, my hair grew a little bit long.
Yeah.
sort of long because I was getting out. So I figured I got to assimilate as quick as possible.
Right.
So then I started growing my hair pretty long, and then sure enough, the base commander, general,
Right.
saw me out there sneaking into the post office. That was my job.
Right.
And then thank goodness he told this friend of mine, Harold LaPointe, and Harold was the driver for the general. So then Harold comes in and tells me, "Hey, John, you're going to get in trouble." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Well,
Right.
yeah, the general saw your hair. It's too long, man." I said, "Well, I'm short. I'm a short timer. I'm getting out of here pretty soon." He said, "No, he thinks you're a lifer, so he's going to put you. He's going to put you in the bomb range."
Oh, Jesus.
What they do at the bomb range over there at Nellis Air Force Base, they got an area there where you build buildings.
Yeah.
And then after you build the buildings, then here comes the jets to go over there and target shoot on these buildings.
Oh, jeez.
So he was going to go ahead and stick me out there for my last tour of duty.
Oh, no.
And so it's just like, oh, no. So naturally.
Put you out to the desert.
Oh, yeah.
Let you work out there.
Oh, yeah. So naturally then, I decided I better go ahead and cut my hair and look like a trooper again real quick. So, yeah, I had to go ahead and do that.
Oh, no.
So be it.
So how long was your time then in the service?
Yeah, 4 years.
4 years.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's 4 years. 4 years in the Air Force. Yeah. Let's see, base commander. Looking at my notes real quick, and so at that time I was a E5, so E5, E4. I was an E4, and I had a line number for E5, so that was a staff sergeant. So in military terms, I actually received a stripe per year, so really I did real well. Oh, no. And that was another reason he thought I was a lifer, because I got...
Just going up the ladder.
Well, the thing was that that's back in the day when I was pretty book smart. So anyways, I received a stripe per year. And then during my basic training, I think I mentioned that before, they were going to send me to officer training school. But I had a problem with my equilibrium, so I couldn't couldn't fly really. So, boom, and I got,
interesting, yeah.
I didn't make it, and then a little colorblind too, so
it's not gonna work.
Colorblind, and then a little bit dizzy after you get spun around. Doesn't get it.
Nope. That's right.
Yeah, I get sort of sick when I watch, what's that, Tom Cruise movie?
Oh, no. Mission Impossible or something?
No, remember that movie?
Top Gun?
Top Gun, yeah. Top Gun, I got to step out of the show.
Oh, that's too funny.
Regroup.
Yep.
Yeah, so I get a little bit
Upside
dizzy
down
on
scenes,
that.
yep.
So you can understand why I didn't make it.
Right.
So anyways, the postmaster general over there offered me a job to work in the post office without taking a test or whatever. And then I worked together at the post office with actually two people that were the union reps of the post office. So I had a really good recommendation to work there.
In Vegas.
But then Vegas.
Yeah.
But then back in that day, the post office didn't get paid that much, not compared to a real manufacturing job. And so, they offered me that job in Nevada. And then after that, my old job actually was going to give me back my 4 years of seniority, plus all benefits if I went back with them. And so that, what did I have down there? I put a little note here saying it was a good time for union representative contracts. Back in that day, that's when the unions were real strong. My leader at that time was Jimmy Hoffa Sr.
Yeah,
Jimmy Hoffa was a bad boy.
Right.
I mean, you want something done, you get it done now. You got a problem, we'll bring in our rep today. Problem resolved tomorrow. And then everybody wanted to make the employee a happy employee. So it's not like today, let's go ahead and erase them from our group.
Right, yeah.
Right now, I'm a Teamster. I also belong to the Teamsters Union with Jimmy Hoffa Jr. Now, this guy's got so many places. He's spread so thin that it is nowhere near as strong as he was back, his dad was back in the day.
Right.
Yeah, so it's just like when I mentioned earlier about the mafia being real good back in the hotel business.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Same with the Teamsters.
Oh yeah,
Right.
yeah. The boys had a voice. Everybody had a voice. Everybody agreed, and everybody walked out smiling or else.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're strong.
Yeah.
Right. I just remember the movies too. Jimmy Hoffa and the story.
Yeah. Yeah, Mid-America. That's what happened with today's world. Mid-America, the guy that works in the middle there, he's shafted in one way, and then later on, the guy that's on top of that, we'll call him the educated college kids. They're gratifying. Their financial gratification is done maybe in a 4-year cycle. Then after that, they're out to lunch. So it's just like there's no help for any of the employees anymore. Mm-hmm. And then the companies just figure, well, one monkey don't stop no show, and they just go on, and they got their pool is like the world. Mm-hmm. So you got a world pool. There's going to be somebody else like you, or maybe even better.
Right.
Or like back there when I was working with Hard Hanks over there, it'd be cheaper for me to go ahead and keep 2 people to go, instead of paying one person the amount of money I should to go ahead and maintain something. I'd hire 2 people that were the long-termers, and then I knew they were going to be out of the business pretty soon. So I'd keep them on and forget about hiring somebody that could actually do the job quicker and come up with new ideas for the growth of the company. Mm-hmm. But I was too true to. I guess I was too true. Yeah, they finally axed me.
Oh no! Got to be in that level, right?
I got to that area where we'll throw in 3 people over there and we'll get rid of him. His philosophy's working. Let's get rid of him.
Oh, no.
No, back in the day, I was into computer programming and stuff, and so you always wrote software to go ahead and eliminate your job. I got sort of used to it anyways.
All right. Right.
It's sort of like an actor when you get done with the movies, and then boom, your gig's over.
That's right.
You're on unemployment. Meet you at the unemployment line. At least you pick up gas money.
Yeah.
But anyways, so that was back in that day. Mm-hmm. And what else do I have here for a note? Oh yeah, back in that day too, there was a movement going on. It was the AIM movement, American Indian movement. And I had a soft spot for the AIM movement. The occupation, or the reason to go ahead and have this AIM movement, was a goal of awareness of American Indian oppression. And later on in life, I ended up meeting Russell Means, who was actually part of the AIM group people that took over Alcatraz. And I was pretty interested in that movement. Fortunately, I married a part Native American, also Italian. But anyway, English too. Okay, there you go. But
That's
anyways, I was extremely fortunate to go ahead and run into a mixture of a person like that. So I ended up talking to her Uncle Harry, and I told him, I was thinking about maybe joining up with this American Indian movement, because I was pretty sympathetic towards the, us not keeping the treaties for that group of people.
Right.
And then Uncle Harry told me, well, John, you could do that, but we don't believe in it. We believe everything should be done on the books, and everything should be done on paper, and blah, blah, blah. Shouldn't be using violence. Mm-hmm. The AIM people were, they were gun toters. They were
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember when I talked to, I didn't talk to him on this particular topic, but he mentioned that he was charged. I went to go see him over here in Brea. He stopped by, and he was doing a book signing and that kind of thing.
Russell Means, right?
Right, yeah. Russell Means. Mm-hmm. And then when I was there, then he told us, the group, that he was charged with 189 federal charges against him. 189. He was supposed to serve, I don't know, 2 or 3 different life sentences.
Mm-hmm.
And then as time went on, all those charges kept dropping and dropping. So really the goal was to go ahead and lock him up.
Mm-hmm.
And then later on, they go ahead and string him out. So they strung him out for all these years. So that way his influence on the group would be minimized.
Mm-hmm.
And then plus that, then, that's the way it really works inside that, that kind of environment. So I was really happy that I didn't go ahead and I did listen to Uncle Harry and not go join that particular group.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm getting out of the service now. Here's my picture. I know my love for music and everything will keep me going. But then my secondary love would be the love for humanity. Mm-hmm. And so inside my mind, I was thinking, well, let's see, what kind of movement could I get myself into now that wouldn't be so bad? So then there I was, me and my dog, going to all these, protests and everything after I got out. But we'll get into those later. But anyways, it's just, along with those protests, naturally, there was plenty of music. So every place, every protest had some kind of band.
Yeah.
And so that counts me in.
Right. That's right.
But anyway, so that was, I think that was about it for me having to leave Las Vegas. But when something sparks my mind, then I'll get back into Nevada again. Mm-hmm. But for right now, that's about it. So right now I'm gone. So let me go on to my next area here. And I think last week we were like in the B.B. King thing.
Exactly.
So I was really, really pleased to find out that there's brand new news that hit the waves. And as I recall, back in the day when we did episode 1 and 2, we were talking about my earlier days, Sunset Strip and all that kind of thing.
Right.
Then if you've seen that movie...
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
And director?
Quentin Tarantino.
When we've seen that movie, you could follow my our adventure in episode 1 and 2.
Right.
And I was there in almost all these places that the movie brought out. Mm-hmm. And so, of course, the music and everything was right on my beat. I mean, I was there, the pulse. I was there, and had a lot of entertainment over there. Being thrown incarcerated and all that kind of thing, and Riot on Sunset Strip, and then they took our movie. So we had a movie called Riot on Sunset Strip that they didn't bring that out, but.
What's that place again?
Yeah, that was Pandora's Box.
So that's what I saw.
That's where
in the movie.
See, that's when I ran into Sonny and Cher.
Right.
So Sonny was a smart guy, so he sheltered Cher, and they took off to the left. Mm-hmm. Then I went to the right to go pick up Paul, because Paul was sitting in the middle of the street. The protest was set for X time, and then all that kind of thing. And inside that movie in the riot, they panned us. Mm-hmm. But I was over there by I think a Steak and Stein place over there. So when you see the thing Steak and Stein, you might see a blur of my head going by.
I need to go find that clip.
That's about it. It's a blurry one.
All right.
But usually I notice a lot of things that I got myself into, and I know they shot the pictures. I usually get the blur. So, either the blur or cut out. But anyways, so surprising news was that they're talking about releasing, I think it was on TMZ, that they're going to go ahead and release a movie about B.B. King.
Oh, that's great.
And now, it's called The Thrill Is On.
The Thrill Is
and
On.
then the main actor to do BB's, Wendell Pierce. Mm-hmm. Now, I haven't seen his stuff over here yet, but I guess he was in something called The Wire. Did you ever see that?
No, I'm not too familiar.
No, how about and Treem? So I guess he was in Treem. Mm-hmm. That was what did you? Was that Louisiana? Treem? Right, okay. So then, anyways, so that's what he was. And then, of course, the people that have control of his estate, there's always a problem there. And That brings up some sadness in my mind here. I remember there when I was at B.B. King's funeral, and it was just like, it was such a discord between the family. And then even today with this movie, they already agreed about the movie before he passed, and they're still out there, arguing about this, that, and the other. So it's just, if you got a lot of money, and even if you don't got a lot of money, give away what you got, because the government will go ahead and take it any damn way. So really, give it away while you got it. That way, everybody's got whatever they need.
Something, right?
That's right. That's why my hat goes off. Matter of fact, I'll drink to that. All right. I can drink to it. I'll drink to Sammy Davis Jr., my hero.
All right.
Yeah, he went, and they said he was broke when he died. And I was thinking, well, he came to the world naked. So he leaves financially naked. That's fine with me. That's the way to do it. That's the perfect way to go.
Yeah. All right.
Sammy, thank you. But anyways, yeah, moving on. So that's the excitement. So keep your eye out for that particular movie. I don't know how they're going to go ahead and do that, but I know it's out there. Excuse me. Yeah, because people have gone out there and said that it's going to happen. TMZ already had the clip on it. Yeah, before the movie comes out, I wanted to give you my take on B.B. King. So that way we can do a comparison to go ahead and see if, who did their homework the best here. I was out there, and I know these people were out there too. And I was really fortunate enough to go ahead and I've been down those streets, Highway 49. Yeah, Highway 49. I think it was west. And got over there to Highway 61, the crossroads. But when you do that kind of trip in Mississippi, you're right there in the heart. And we'll get into another story on that. I was on the way over to Pine Top Perkins' house over in Belzoni, Mississippi.
Belzoni.
And when you live out there, the Mississippi, you run straight down through all the areas. So
Right.
B.B. King's area was right there, so it was Indianola, Mississippi. And so I was out there, and I went over there to actually take a picture of a cypress tree in the water. And you make a left turn off the main highway, and then you go out there and you see a cypress tree, and then you're headed into a city. My plan was to go ahead and see B.B. and show him a picture of that tree. So that way he'd probably say, "What is that?" And I say, "Well, don't you know? That's where your town is from, right there."
Yeah.
Just when you go in, he'd probably start laughing. So that's why I did that. So.
Gotcha.
But anyways,
Opening to the show. Opening to the movie.
That's right. But he wasn't born there. He was born in a different area. But that's what they call. I think that's where his museum is. Because that's one trip we have to go to.
Sure.
It's the B.B. King Museum.
Yeah.
And it's out there in the area. So, yeah, that's. I was actually invited to go out there with the press, I guess, and go ahead and go out there when B.B. passed. But then, I just didn't make it. I couldn't make it financially. And then I wasn't still recuperating from some physical problems here. But anyways, let me go on here. So I just wanted to go ahead and mention that King is going to come back up. So the thing that was pretty neat about this when I was looking it up here was that I ran into 2 or 3 different stories about what a hard worker B.B. King really was, and how he did. More than some people said 200 shows. Maybe that was the big shows, but he did a lot of the Chitlin circuit. And the Chitlin circuit was little clubs here and there in all these different places.
Right.
All over the USA. And he did as many as 300. And then somebody else wrote an article about BB there where he actually did 300 and I think 342 shows in a year.
Jeez.
Now, this was in 1956. He appeared at 342 shows.
Man,
that's almost a show every day. That's
right.
Saturday and Sunday.
Yep.
You know, and he was born in Itta, Itta, Benna, Mississippi. And he worked at a cotton gin in Indianola, Mississippi. So anyways, he was doing all these shows. I just couldn't believe it. And, you know, he was actually, I think the last time we mentioned a story about him out there, I think driving a truck or a tractor or something. Mm-hmm. And then he was only getting maybe 75 cents a day or something like that, not very much. And then he figured out when he was playing his music that he can go ahead and make that money playing. Mm-hmm. So why not go play instead of doing all that other kind of labor?
That's right. Yeah.
So he began playing the local juke joints, and then later on he took off to a radio station out there in Memphis, Tennessee. And the WDIA, I think, was the name of the radio station. Mm-hmm. But the part that just knocked me out was he had a lot of help from his uncle. Yeah, his uncle was a player also. Mm-hmm. So again, that goes back to, I think I mentioned it back in my earlier lifespan here, all my uncles played. So really, that's probably why my equilibrium's really music.
Right.
Because then I was brought up that way. Mm-hmm. I always, you know, when I was alone or whatever in my brains, and school time, whatever, it didn't matter. You know, I always had my guitar. So really, my best friend was the guitar. You know,
yeah.
So, and then when you're in the service, you learn your best friend's your gun. So, you know, there you go.
Right.
So you get your equilibrium in a different sense, but maybe that's the core of existence. You know, find your equilibrium and then hang on to it when you need it.
That's right.
But anyways, let's see. Oh, then his hit in 1951 called 3 O'Clock Blues. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was his big song. And then I was thinking about, well, not only did he carry himself, and as time went on, he had 13 players to go ahead and pay. Then when I started looking up,
band.
Oh yeah,
right. That's
and then
some of his early stuff. Right, really big band.
So I was going, oh my gosh, you know, how could you afford? Most of my friends over here can't afford 4. You know, 3 is about normal. 4 is sort of getting big. Any more than that, you know, everybody's playing almost for free. Just give me gas money. Yeah, but anyways, it was just amazing to go ahead and realize what a organization he really had and how tight he was. Remember my friend, our friend, me and Dee's, Chris Kane, he told me, how do you do that? I remember one of Chris's songs, he said, when I met B.B. King, I want to know how you do your thing. Because, you know, he was talking about how to go ahead and keep his band moving. Right. And then it's really tough with 4 pieces. Chris had to chop down his whole thing down to about 4 or 5 pieces at the most. Right. And then, then I remember that song. Do you remember that song, Dee? Yes.
Yes.
Okay. But anyway, no, I listen to so much stuff. It's just amazing. I can't believe I sort of recall it. You know, it's can't recall what I did yesterday or what I was supposed to buy at the grocery store or whatever.
That's right.
And but I can remember the songs and the whatever that happened a while back. Yeah. But anyways, I was surprised that he had the strength to go ahead and keep everybody working. And then when he did that radio show that was out there in Memphis, then he was selling, I think it was a flour. So he was selling, and I ran into another friend that was a a passenger on my bus. Was his last name Carr.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, he also was a musician like that too, bass player. And he did the country western circuit. Mm-hmm. And during the service time, he was a bass player for the armed services radio stations. So then he'd go on play that for the troops, mm-hmm. World War II. And then when I ran into him, I seen a movie about Hank Williams Sr. And he told me that he played with Hank Williams Sr. That's what was so shocking. That's what I mean about when you're inside the loop of say music is my passion. Mm-hmm. Then you find out that you run into these other stories from other people that are passionate about the same thing. Right. And it's amazing how you click, because mm-hmm. you could actually see them, and then next thing you know, you talk to them. Then next thing you know, you guys are inside the same bubble.
Right.
But anyways, this bass player, he was telling me, I played at the Grand Ole Opry one night, and that was back in the day, with Hank Williams Sr. And boy, he drank a lot. He had a real, but his wife. And then I seen that movie. I went to a show down there in Santa Monica where they got the independent shows. Mm-hmm. So I was doing a movie viewing with a director and everybody there to go ahead and answer questions about the movie and all that kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah. What is it?
The Q&A?
I think a Limerick shows.
Oh, I don't know what it's called.
What is it? Yeah. But anyways, it's one of those individual shows, and mm-hmm. then what they do is they have the director and the person out there that wrote it and all that kind of thing, and then you could question answer for the beginning of a movie. Mm-hmm. And so they were doing Hank Williams Sr. and the movie showed that I think her name was Audrey, but anyways, that she wasn't quite, she just wanted to use Williams for his notoriety. Mm-hmm. So she tried to get on his records, but the record company wouldn't allow her to go ahead and sing.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And so then she tried to go ahead and burn him out.
Mm-hmm. So
that way she'd get a slot and, use the fame to go ahead and push her higher up.
Right.
But I remember, Mr. Carr, or what he say? He said, "Oh, that bitch." I was laughing, going, "Oh, what? Yeah. What? This kind old nice guy."
All right.
And all of a sudden he was dead on the money. All so right. It's just it's funny how you run into things like that. So
right.
Yeah,
some real stories.
Real stories. Yeah, the real deal.
Yeah.
But anyways, where was I on that here? Yeah. Yeah, and then aside from that, there, when I was talking about BB here, I guess I had what I'd have to go ahead and confess right now is that I had an opportunity of meeting BB King also in his bus after his show. Mm-hmm. So what a treat for somebody like myself, a person that loved his music, seen him in Vegas, and then seen him grow up through the ranks. And then all of a sudden here he is at his own club, basically, BB King Blues Club. It was over in Universal Studio, mm-hmm. The Walk there.
Right.
And then he had other clubs around the United States too. So he'd naturally be featured all over the place. And I was fortunate enough to go over there and then talk to him and meet him and then see how his operation worked. So he'd have his band. The band would go on his bus, and then the food would be all laid out for him. Mm-hmm. So everybody would go on the band.
Right.
Would go on there to eat and everything else before they went to their bus. Then in BB's bus, then the special guests came after the band. And I was fortunate enough to go ahead and be in the group with the special guests.
Oh, cool.
So I was all decked out in all BB King wear, BB King shirt, BB King hat. Same thing I wore like when we were doing the Star on the Walk.
Yeah.
And then I had a guitar over there I wanted him to sign. Mm-hmm. And so, they took a look at me and then my instrument, and then sure enough, they said, "Oh yeah, you can go in, you can be a guest."
Oh wow!
So couldn't beat that. So here I am inside there with a master.
Yes.
And the kindness of this person, unreal. He'd take people back inside his area. Then he'd talk to each person, so you get a few minutes to go ahead and talk to the king.
Right.
So yeah, what an honor. But before that, he tell you to go ahead and have something to eat or drink or whatever.
Oh yeah,
left from the
make
from
you
the
feel
band.
home.
Oh yeah,
Right,
make you feel just like you're sitting there at home. Yeah. Oh yeah, go ahead and help yourself. We got cheeses and all that kind of stuff, whatever the layout happened to be.
Right.
And then so it was just what a kind, real kind person, And
Wow, that's so cool.
oh yeah.
You never know, especially your idols, who you meet.
Right.
You never know how they're going to actually be in person.
Oh, yeah.
But he just opened the door.
Right. Yeah, just the experience was unreal. And then you think about a person that's actually been out there. And I think I brought this up quite a few times, when you do the Chitlin circuit, it's a killer circuit. It's not a cakewalk. It's not like over here in L.A. or whatever. Yeah, these people kill you out there in some places. It's just, I think, who was it? Billie Holiday said it correctly. And if you ever get a chance, listen to the song and the words to Strange Fruit. And, unfortunately, B.B. King had seen that himself. And, they'd go ahead and Triple K would get them, and they'd go ahead and string them up.
Oh, wow.
And on that kind of Chitlin circuit. So you really had to, take your life in your own hands when you did that kind of traveling like him. And I think I mentioned before about Johnny Otis doing that, bringing the West Coast music to the rest of the United States.
Right.
And it was just really, really tough, but loving music will see you through, and so a lot of prayers too.
That's right. You're rolling the dice every night.
Right.
Yeah.
That's another thing too. BB did like to play. He was definitely a player. I think that's why they kept him out there on the strip so long, to get back some of that money.
That's right.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that too. He had a restaurant there in the Mirage, I think it was. And they did bring in some real good music. They brought in actually the Memphis People. The Memphis People, remember over there, they changed, the sound was unreal. And they bring in the big horns and the whole shot. Not like the West Coast.
Sure.
Over there, so he also had a club there in Vegas. Yeah, now I'm switching back and forth on that Vegas run back to BB. But anyways, so inside there, then a friend of mine, harmonica player, can't remember his name right now, but anyways, he went in there before me, as him and I, and then he went in there, talked to BB for a little bit, and then after that, moved him out, so he went out to go finish eating, and they said their hellos and autographs and everything else. Then I came in with my instrument.
Right.
Then BB says, "Hey, I want you to sit right here." So then I go, oh my gosh, here I am sitting there. I go, oh. Then all I remember is I looked straight in his eyes. And then his eyes were like brown, with a little blue ring around the outside of the brown. And then he asked me, well, how'd you like the show? I mean, how could you not like it? You had, You had all the famous people were in town to go ahead and see BB. So I was with all these other people, and they really didn't pay that much attention to him because I was so flabbergasted I was inside his bus.
Right.
And here I am sitting there,
Yep.
Down, oh yeah. And I told him, well, tell you the truth, the best thing I've ever seen was when you did a master workshop at Dillard University in New Orleans, Louisiana. Then he laughed at me and he says, "You were there?" I said, "Yeah, I had a throwaway camera and I shot your picture, and they all came out too dark, so I couldn't. I could not show anybody the pictures that that event."
Right.
I was before. Remember, I mentioned. I said. Yeah, taking pictures, just Indian way. You know, you keep your mind together and you don't take pictures. You don't ask for autographs, blah, blah, blah. You know, what an idiot. I should have taken pictures. I should have got autographs. I should have got all that. Yeah. But anyways, so then, it's just, when I got into that part there about the Dillard University, then his explanation of how the blues worked and how it worked for him. He got every segment of the band, and he said how they jumped inside to go ahead and do this part. Oh, here comes a train. Here comes this, and then you need a little bit of that when you're going into that story. So the story would have a storyline brought in with the rest of the band, and then how he layered it out, and it was just beautiful because he explained it to nothing but lay people.
Right.
They really didn't know that much. They knew about the music, the end result, but they didn't know about the layering and making it, and then everything that goes on with it. And he explained everything, how it worked. And this is why I called it a master class.
Right.
Because in my mind, when I seen it, I was going, "Oh my God!" You know, I just got done seeing Tito Puente, and he was doing a master class for these kids in high school. There's no way in the world they'd understand what he meant, but he still gave it.
Right.
Then here's B.B. King over here at this university going, "Oh my God, this is the best week I ever had in my life." You know? These giants out there, and they're giving me master class. They don't do that, by the way, anymore. You know, they did that back in the day.
Right, yeah.
But, it was just the best thing. So I mentioned that, and then he goes, "Oh, you were there?" I said, "Yeah, I was over there at your book signing too, but your manager wouldn't let me go ahead and get this autograph." He goes, "Oh yeah, that was a special thing. I had to work it out with the people do books, so I had to do only books and not." That was a Tower Records on Sunset.
Yeah, I remember telling me that.
Yeah, so then this friend of mine, Red Eye, he took my picture with him, and then that was good because he knew Red Eye quite a bit. So Red Eye, that was one of his favorite guys, B.B. King and Luther Allison for the other king on the other side of the lake there, you know. Yeah. But anyways, old Red Eye, he took some real good pictures for me. But anyways, so that's when you see that movie, then you could realize how humble he was and what he was generous to the middle class, lower class, and the upper class, because he actually played for the Queen of England.
That's right.
You know, he's this guy was a top drawer person that will probably never see the likes of a person like that again, that reached all levels. And then he really didn't care about the big group. He cared about all the groups in the middle, and all the middle. I mean, all groups, all humanity. Such a wonderful person. That's probably why he got that gift from Obama, I think it was. Obama gave him a humanitarian award, I think, during the Obama administration.
I think so.
But, I'm off my notes on that one. I didn't get a chance to research that, but it's just something flew by me right now.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So, but anyways, or was it BB or was it... did you check it, son?
He had a tribute to him.
Is it?
Yeah.
But anyways.
I'm not sure, yeah.
Yeah, let me go on while we're still there. Yeah, all of a sudden, let's see, I was there talking to him, having a good time, everything like that. I talked to him about Dillard and the master class over there, about each section of the horns. And he gave us a personal history about his life, working on the plantation, driving a tractor, and playing the guitar. And, his uncle was Bucka White. Bucka White and Bill Boonsey. Now, I think one of them gave him a guitar. But then what a good family, like I was mentioning earlier. It's just like his uncles were there. And if you look in history, then you look up Bill Boonsey and Bucka White. They were masters. Then when you look over there at B.B. King's club, Lucille's, when you look at Lucille's, you'll see some of the paintings on the wall. And you might ask, who the heck is Bill Boonsey? Who the heck is Bucka White?
Mm-hmm.
But then you see the paintings on there. So they were instrumental into going to make BB what BB was. So it's just like, so the pictures, each one of those pictures and everything on the wall were meaningful.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just when you take a look at things like that, when you go to some of these places, then you'll understand that person's makeup was part of those pictures that are hanging on the wall. Yeah, and then when he worked his way up here to Clarksdale, Mississippi, that was, Clarksdale. Yeah, I think that's Mississippi. Mm-hmm. But anyways, in Clarksdale, I remember when I was out in Clarksdale, what a nice place that was. You go inside there, and then everybody knows you're from out of town. So I can imagine somebody like B.B. King going inside Clarksdale. Mm-hmm. And, the guy from the radio station came out to talk to me. Wonder what I was doing. Mm-hmm. And it was pretty funny. Then Doc, I can't remember Doc's last name. He owned Rooster Records, I think it was. Mm-hmm. And he came out to talk to me and gave me instructions about where I should go and where, all that kind of thing.
Right.
And I was following this blues guide. And I can't remember if it was our own Southland Blues magazine, or maybe it was a Big Time Blues magazine from Detroit, Junior's group. Mm-hmm. And anyways, I went down. I parked my little van out there in front of that place. Mm-hmm. Yeah, one of these places. It said that Billie Holiday sang there and all that kind of thing. And it was supposed to be a bar and all that kind of stuff. So I go down the steps to go inside the place. Then I walk. The door was locked on the left side. I guess that was the bar side. Mm-hmm. But I didn't know it was somebody's house on the right side. So I opened up the door. And here's this guy going, "Hey, what the hell are you doing in here?" And I'm going, "Oh, sure, isn't this where?" I was telling him,
"Right,
no, man, kid, that's next door. What are you doing in here? Oh, no. Who are you?" He said, "Is that your van out there? You from California?" "Yes, sir." He said, "Lucky I don't shoot your ass." The bar doesn't open till the weekend. Yeah, we don't. They didn't have stuff open during the week.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it was. After we talked and everything, then I gave my number, and then and then he gave me some of his information. He was a promoter himself. So,
really?
So I said, "Oh yeah, well, I'm out here looking. Go ahead and see what I can find on the blues trail." And then they told me, "Oh, you know Junior? Yeah, I know Junior." Oh, okay. Everything's cool. So now we're fine.
Oh,
so
that's good.
Yeah.
Smooth it over.
Then everything is okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then. I think I ran into him first before I ran into the doctor. Because then the doctor that owned the record company, he was told me to go over to Ike's cousin's place. Mm-hmm. So it was a Chitlin place. Yeah, I can't remember the name of the place, but anyways, around the block from the radio station. So inside these Chitlin places, they got like plywood, plywood stages. It's just like when you hear the sound of,
the creak.
Places bounce, and you boom, boom. No music during the week. Got the jukebox, but no live music. So I was looking to play at one of these places myself, so that way I could say, "Oh yeah, I played at this place."
Right.
But unfortunately, it was during the week, and then I got to see what the Mississippi was like compared to, say, our Watts and our South Central LA and everything. Our area, we're so fortunate to be in California. Even our worst places, and they call them bad, but they're places to live. You bring up Watts, you bring up South LA, you bring up all the districts out there. Nothing compared to the real deal in Mississippi.
Oh, wow.
Or in, remember South Chicago?
Sure.
The projects?
Southside.
Come on.
No joke.
This is Beverly Hills over here.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Oh yeah, bad stuff.
That's right.
You know, it's just
You can
like
feel it.
then you go out there and you're physically there, and you can just see the what goes on out there. It's I'm just my hats off to BB King and all the people that do Chitlin Circuit back in that day. You know, it's tough racket.
Sure.
But then again, they're extremely well taken care of. All these places made food for them. I remember the best food I had was in Clarksdale, I think.
Mm-hmm.
A guy told me, "Oh yeah, go over to this other place, and I think they have turkey today."
Mm-hmm.
So I was going, turkey? Interesting. It was lunchtime, but I didn't know lunchtime meant dinner. So yeah, there was a turkey dinner during the middle of the day, and so went over there, and then I think another person told me, "Oh yeah, well, don't stay in that van. Go stay at this hotel down the street." So I did what they told me, and I said, "Yeah, you'll be okay there." You know.
Good.
So it's just like, listen up.
Right.
They'll tell you the right ways.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's interesting.
But anyways, that's the core of BB King's existence.
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably why, as he grew up, he could understand all levels, because then he experienced all levels during his time out there.
Right.
So.
But yeah, and I just looked up what he got his medal from. It's actually from George Bush.
Oh, it's Bush.
Yeah, Presidential Medal of Freedom in December 2006.
See?
Yeah.
Yeah. Bush.
Bush recognized.
Yeah. Thank goodness.
Yes. Yeah, that's great.
It's hard to do, especially Bush Senior. I voted for Bush Senior because he played a Fender guitar. How did I know that him and Cheney were so dang corrupt? You know?
Yeah.
But oh well, you know.
Very crazy.
Treated me good.
Yeah.
Leo Fender. I should get into that story next time. Maybe I'll touch on that one. I had a chance to meet Leo Fender also, so yeah, a little running around here and there.
Sure.
Yeah. I think we got a cue from our leader over here.
Yes.
Yeah, if we do too much more, we'll have to pay. So we're going to have to go ahead and continue on next week, and then.
All right.
Oh, before that though, could I do this one real quick?
Yeah, get in a couple of those.
Okay, right.
Good memorabilia.
Remember what?
Wait. Your time and did you ever get the signature from BB King when you were in his tour bus?
Oh yeah, you got it on the guitar, son.
Which guitar?
One of them.
One of them. All right.
Heck yeah. Yeah, one of many. Yeah.
All right.
Let's see. Okay.
So a successful signing there.
Oh yeah. Then the book too, and then I got another. I think I got about three or four autographs from him. Yeah, they got to know me after a while. Let's see, page 56. Oh yeah, here it is. I mentioned it. This is in this particular package. The seal. Can you see that?
Yeah, that's it.
You see it there? Is it upside down?
Yes.
Okay. How about that?
There we go.
Is that right? Okay. Thank you. And inside this this package here, BB King from 1949 to I think 1970, 1991.
Right.
It's a CD package. And I was fortunate enough to run into this the other day when I was visiting another blues person.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways,
Oh yeah.
if you take a look,
There we go.
right here, BB King's getting his hands done at the rock walk. Now this person back over here was right next to me, and of course, where am I? You see those hands right there? That was me. they cut me out.
They just cut out.
I only got my hands, but I'm in the book.
Yeah. That's too funny.
The little booklet that comes along with the King thing.
was there. Yeah, your proof.
I just sit there and I laugh at there I am again. You know,
Right.
you cut me out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh yeah. Then
You have
another
some records over there too.
Yeah. Then I was really fortunate again to run into this particular item here. This is from a production staff, and November 20th, 1987, to blues, the B.B. King Blues Hour.
Mm-hmm.
So I ended up getting, out of Bullet Productions, I ended up getting an actual program, the B.B. King, along with the minutes and everything. Real programming, they're real sticklers for minutes because you got sticking commercials in between everything.
Right.
So, but anyways, I ended up getting the format for it. And then along with that, I ended up also having the Blues Hour, the whole show.
Oh, right.
So,
it's on record.
I couldn't believe that. So it's
Cool
just like,
collector.
yeah, it's just a beautiful pair of items there. And then I think on, I don't know if we'll probably have a special guest, I think maybe next week or next show.
Yep.
And then the show after that, I have a friend over here that does nothing but specializes in blues style music, and he was ex-DJ. He was been on the radio for 22 years, and I'm going to go get Art Martell on here to go ahead and mention some of his stuff. But he sells all the vinyl and everything now. So yeah, he's real instrumental in keeping music alive all over the world. Really, yeah.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
Yeah.
Focus on the West Coast.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah. We got a West Coast guy, and
That's right.
then we did Europe with Art, so yeah, it's a good run.
That's right.
A lot of fun. Good run.
Yep.
But anyways, all right. What until next week? We're gonna have to click it out.
Wrap it up. All right.
Our director's counting the clock right now.
There you go.
Yeah. Thank you, son.
Cheers.
Until
Thank
next
you.
week.
Yeah.
Have a good week.
All right. You too. All right, everybody. Have a good one.
Thank you, darling.